Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seen his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can ship at a rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville join the club. If you take it to shit, scream out woo woo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell.
I'm sure you already said, but we do have this fantastic Japanese candy. Whenever we do our show, we eat it and it fuels us and we have a better time. So please have some strawberry pocky or chocolate pocky. Enjoy yourself.
Yes, the back of my shirt says, "Where's my pocky at?"
Yeah. Nice. So my name is Will. His name is Mike Sorg. Sorg. I was calling him Sorg.
Who's Sorg?
And we do the Wrestling Mayhem show. Now, yes, wrestling, professional wrestling, and it started out with just me and him. We had a conversation. We would talk.
Actually, it started out with just me.
Well, the show started.
I've never heard about podcasting.
Yeah.
I ran a shoutcast stream radio from my house, which, awesome. Only 15 people can listen, but it was fun. That stems from WesternPAJuggalos.com, which is an Insane Clown Posse fan site that I've run for over 5 years now. I actually started here as the IP Juggalos. And so we started doing the radio thing, and I would always log on after Monday Night Raw and just, bullshit about wrestling. And eventually, he came over, we started doing it together, we started doing it on Tuesday nights, we started doing the podcasting at the same time. I lost my server, and here we are. We bring over new people every week, and they kind of become part of the group. So.
Yeah, we have 2 more guys that we did a show with, but they are lame and didn't make it this week. So we're going to beat the crap out of them and see them on Tuesday. But, yeah, like you said, we started with maybe, a max of 15 listeners.
If we were lucky.
Yeah. And generally we only have 4 live listeners. And now, broadcast every week live on Tuesdays, and available for download. We have, how many downloads are we looking for a week?
We have between 200 and 300 a week now. We're on TalkShoe.com right now. We used to be on SwitchPod. And when we were on SwitchPod and had built up over the course of the last year, we were up to around 400 or 500 a week downloads. So we're kind of rebuilding that because everybody lost us on their iTunes feed. But we're doing pretty good getting that back up. And again, we are a very niche being wrestling crowd. Not everybody's into wrestling. First, before we get started, all you obviously here with your podcast or any podcast, but what kind of subjects are you interested in doing?
Mm-hmm. Like, what are you guys hoping to gain from this panel?
Tell us about your experiences. Like, what do you do when you podcast? Like, are you just talking about the wrestling? Like, what are you talking about? Interviewing people, or what do you actually? What's the content you're getting out of it?
Basically, we do 2 hours every Tuesday, and we never really have a format. We have a couple of segments that we do, and that's just because we read fan mail in the second half of the show. And but mainly we just kind of go in and have conversations about wrestling. And it's great because the people that we have, it creates this wonderful dynamic because we're all relatively energetic and we all have different viewpoints, and we're witty enough to keep it entertaining for 2 hours. So
it's a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we were actually we split it up before, but it was too hard with the talk show. But now, since they changed their advertising policies, we split it back up. So, because things got difficult. But we won't get into that. That's a different session. But anyways, we'll get into the whole, what this course of, I don't have a description for it. But, we started on the shoutcast. People knew us through the Western PA Juggalo site, so it was just like the Juggalo crowd who happened to also be into wrestling. And then, it was you got in contact with gentlemen on WrestlingObserver.com.
Oh, yeah. There's WrestlingObserver.com is one of the larger wrestling news sites. And there was a guy who wrote columns. And he did weekly columns. And I talked to him a little bit, and I got him to start advertising for our show. And then he just started putting up just little blurbs as to what our show was about that week. Like, the Wrestling Mayhem show interviews this independent wrestler, or the Wrestling Mayhem show rambles on for 2 hours about nothing, you know what I mean? But he would do that and he would put up a link, and just something small like that. A
we got up to that 400 hits that first time. Unfortunately, he's left that position at that website. And WrestlingObserver.com is like one of the biggest sites that isn't an official, WWEF, TNA, whatever website for news. So we got a lot of exposure from that. And he actually had a blurb giving us a good thumbs up first off. So that got a lot of people interested in us. I think we still have a lot of the fans from that. And we kind of tapered off for a while. We're still, like, you're still doing your guest column on PWTorch.com.
Yeah.
And but the big thing I noticed lately is like, okay, back in November, we started interviewing wrestlers, professional wrestlers, starting with luckily there's a company called IWC, International Wrestling Cartel from Elizabeth, PA. So, we happen to know a couple of them, so we have them come on, and then we go to shows, meet more of them, get more of them in. And eventually we started getting people like Eric Showtime, Eric Young from TNA. We had Brent Albright, who used to be in WWE, was let go last year, but he's still very popular on the indie circuit. And, but our numbers weren't changing. We got these great interviews, and we realized we're not letting anybody know about it.
Yeah, we weren't doing much advertising, getting these interviews, that's one of the beautiful things about the kind of social networking that you do. We've said that our topic is a niche topic because it is professional wrestling. And professional wrestling is like imagine NASCAR 4 or 5 years ago. It has that stigma attached to it. So the fan base is, it's a small, loyal, rabid fan base. But the thing is, we can use that to our advantage. You travel around, you get in conversation with someone, you happen to mention something about pro wrestling, 90% of the time I find that they'll say, oh, I used to watch pro wrestling, or yeah, I watch pro wrestling, or my father used to watch pro wrestling, or something like that. So at some point in everyone's life, they've been touched or involved with pro wrestling at some point. So when you mention something like that, pro wrestling fans in the United States are very similar to pro wrestling fans internationally, because we all watch the same product, we all like the same thing, we like the same things about it, and it's like I said, it is like NASCAR was about 4 years ago. If you watch it, you like it, your first instinct is, I want to talk to somebody about this. Like, it's the same thing with like American Idol, more popular TV shows. People watch it, so the next day they can go to work and they can have discussions about it.
That's why the Lost podcast is one of the biggest ones on our show.
Exactly. But with us, it's something that's not as popular, but that just means people are more, they have more of a desire to talk about it and hear people talk about it. So as a result, we have fans in London. We have our one fan in London, he was a heavy contributor to the show. He sent us calls.
Yeah, he was going to start the email movement. He was Vim now. His name's Vimal Bias. He's an Indian English fellow over there, and he had really intelligent emails he sent us, and we'd take off half the show just talking about the stuff he forgot.
Yeah, most of the time our second hour is dedicated to different fan emails, because he started doing that, and now we have maybe 4 or 5 fans that write in every week.
We started about a month ago, Chat to Chat on the show, started a fan of the week. And this is where the social networking aspect of our MySpace page. Everybody has a freaking MySpace page. Some people start MySpace pages just so they can comment on our page.
Yeah.
So
Vimal's actually one of them. He started his own MySpace page just so we can talk on our page.
Yeah, and we thought it was a woman at first until we put a picture of her. Damn, that's a girl's name. And then he puts this picture up, and it's the most hardcore look you've seen.
Just like a nice guy you can imagine.
From England.
Yeah. And so earlier this year, he flew in. He flew over from London to Pittsburgh, spent a weekend with us.
Mm-hmm.
Spent a weekend with us.
Slept in the studio.
Yeah, he actually slept in our studio too. Food's on it there. And just this all started just because he was a fan of the show. So.
He actually had just graduated for medicine to be a doctor. He's in emergency right now over there. And he just had some time and was traveling around. So out of Pittsburgh.
Hey, how much time do we have with this?
How long does it take you to record and produce a podcast? I know it's 2 hours of podcast, but what's the total time? And are you in any way paid for it?
Well,
I mean, I know, you know.
Sort of, a little bit.
Yeah, we're trying to.
First, the pay thing, we have the talk show.
Yeah.
They have their thing where it's like so many listeners in one deal or something.
Yeah.
That's why we changed back to the two. I mean, because we got to the point where we're making enough money, we could pay for the pay-per-views we have to watch the talk about.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they switched that up, and they're like, oh, there goes that.
So you're not getting that anymore?
No, we're just not getting it. We're trying to just figure out how it works for us and get the most out of it. And
why did you switch from the other one to talk show?
Well, I was introduced to Talk Shoe, and it was really cool. Well, when we used to do a live show on server that I used to have, we'd have people chatting, contributing the whole time, and it was just like us, pretty cut off from everybody, just recording the show on one night and putting it up there. Okay. And when I saw the Talk Show, it was like, oh, we can have people call in even.
Right.
And have the chat room and have that interaction we used to have when we started this thing.
Yeah. We used to do AIM chat rooms.
Yeah, we tried to get everybody in an AIM chat room and go at it. I had a link for a specific AIM chat room up on the website. But then there's something happened one month where my server and SwitchPod wouldn't renew my subscription, and SwitchPod wasn't. I had problems. Just to say I had problems. I was simulcasting on both of them. That I finally was forced to make the switch. But I mean, it was just a glitch between PayPal and them, and it just didn't connect, and we just moved on.
Okay. Yeah.
But what was the other question?
Well,
how long does it take us to produce?
Oh, how long does it take you to produce, and how do you get money out of it if not in it at all? So how much are you giving of your time every week?
Well, sit down. Everybody comes over on Tuesday night about 7 o'clock. I go up and make sure all the microphones are plugged in and everything about 7:30. We start at 8 o'clock and roll until sometimes we put up a 3-hour show. We're rolling.
If the content's good and our energy's up, we'll just go ahead and do a 3-hour show.
And mostly,
if we have guests, we'll do 3 hours.
I try to just take audio, I record it at home as well as on Talk Show.
Okay.
But since that's over the phone system, it's not the greatest quality.
Okay.
It's fine for starting off. Great for starting off, but I'm kind of sick of it for it since I do audio in my day job too.
Right.
But I just do a quick pass of the sound reduction since there's so much room noise from all the computers and level everybody up and make sure the intro and outros are going and at the right spots and upload that thing. So it'll take me like maybe an hour, render time to know those.
Okay.
And as far as preparation for the show, we watch the shows. We got that. We have.
You have
just good conversations sitting down before the show, after the show. Not recording this.
Yeah.
Or after the IWC shows, they have a after party at Carriage Inn.
Oh yeah, we always that's what we do. That's where we do most of our interviews.
Yeah.
Because we'll go watch the independent show, and then we'll go to the after party. And we'll sit down and we'll just talk with the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And we'll have good conversations with them. We'll mention the show.
And starting they come over to my place and just sit in on the show.
Yeah.
And Michael Barmasan, there's a new guy up there coming, and now the Gambino brothers want to come back.
Yeah.
And have to figure out where we're putting them.
Yeah.
There's like 3 guys, and they're big guys.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. We started out with just one. Who's the first guy? It was Corey.
Jason Corey.
He's an independent wrestler with IWC. He actually
may or may not be a student here at IT. I won't tell you that.
So, all right, it's a secret.
Yes.
But we started with him, and then we interviewed his tag team partner, a friend of his, a guy named Shiva Zion, and we just kind of worked our way through the roster, and now next month we're interviewing the guy who owns the company.
We haven't gotten that. But he's a pretty big deal. He's been around for a while too.
Yeah, he knows all kinds of people in the business and industry.
And on a side note about the monetary aspect of it,
Yeah.
I know he's talking to some wrestlers about doing shirt designs because he's a graphic design student.
Okay.
Yeah, I go here for graphics, so.
I'm talking to Gambino for others about doing their DVD. They want to send promotional DVD to Japan of the matches, so I'm going to be putting that together for them. And there's a couple other opportunities that might be coming up from this.
Right.
Again, when you have that niche, these group, you can think like, oh, we're just some jackasses with a microphone. But when we go to the show, the talk to people, it's like, hey, I do a show, you know, and about, and they're like, yeah, you know. I couldn't believe the baddest man in IWC ready to go. I go, hey, we got a show, you know, thinking, oh, he's going to shut me down, right? He's really about who you, right? He's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's cool because you have to, since we've watched the business for so long, and we're not just interested in what's on camera. We're also interested in the backstage stuff like that. So we've done our research. So when we approach these guys, we know how to speak to them, we know how to talk to them, how to approach them, you know what I mean, to, you know, gauge their reaction, make sure that they know we're not just, you know, the normal fans.
And one thing, we do the wrestling too, like backyard wrestling, but we're not
stupid about it.
We're not backyard wrestling TV either. They're throwing each other in the thumbs. And so we understand the concepts, and we learn how to do the moves.
How long have you been a fan?
Hulk Hogan, Paul Orndorff in 1987.
Okay, so,
I'm not to say about the
1987. Around then, you know, watching Saturday Night's Main Event back in the day. But the better example is my grandmother-in-law is 83 young fan year long, and she was pretty good. She knows, like, she's a big Stone Cold fan at 83 years old or whatever. I'm trying to get her on the show.
Well, that would be fun.
I have kind of a twofold question. How and why did you get all of this started, and what would you say are the keys to success that you had in it and built it up to the point it is? I've heard kind of some of it in and out, but...
I think I started this.
Why did you start this thing?
Somebody said, hey, you want to do radio stuff? I said, I hate my own voice.
I know why I started it.
I said, hey, you want to go do this stuff?
I had mentioned, you know, well, in my circle of friends, there's only maybe like 2 or 3 of us that actually enjoy wrestling. I found out that Sorg was a fan of wrestling, and they're like, oh, he speaks on the radio, just small-time internet stuff. And I was like, well, like I said before, I was like, oh, good, now I have someone to talk about wrestling with. So I went over, and we were at a party or something like that, and I mentioned it to him. He's like, come over, we'll see what we can do. So for me, it all started because of love for the business.
I think I found out I have an addiction for performing. Yeah, as in between doing the show and I am also in a rap group. And I just, like, we haven't had a show in like 3 months. It's driving me nuts. Yeah, so I think I just I realized how much I enjoyed the choir and band and the musicals back in the day in high school, and you know, and it's been years, and I was like, oh, that's what I like.
Yeah.
So,
What's your day job?
I'm a video editor.
Okay.
We do training for the steel industry. So actually, Sean from Geek Ride's my boss. So, not here, but he's doing another session later today. But yeah, other than that, I was like, at first I started radio stuff. I was like playing music and chime in and do some crazy stuff, and it was just for fun and for whatever. And I don't know why I stuck with it for so long. This is a fun dance for what it was.
Yeah. Well, also I think it's that thing like Justin was saying in the opening. Everyone wants to get their message out there. Everybody wants to be heard. And really, how am I going to pass up the chance every week to go somewhere and talk to hundreds of people all over the world? If someone said, come over, sit down, we'll have a conversation, and lots of people hear it, it's about something you love, that's not something I saw.
You cover both sides of your question there?
Not really.
That's what they do, they go on tangents.
The other part is just, what are kind of like the key things that you saw, I guess, happening, or that you guys did, or what did you spur to create, like going from 15 people up to hundreds of people?
I would say like the MySpace.
Yeah,
really. Communication.
We utilize MySpace. We utilize Reason for Herb now. We actually have fans our fans made a forum MySpace for us, and then we made our own MySpace page. Our fans made a Wikipedia page for us.
Yeah, and then that is, the more people stumble upon us, it's that social viral networking thing. Yeah. You get your name out there enough, and it just, people find you. You just gotta give people opportunity to find you.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were talking about the interviews. Nobody knows we did an interview with Eric Young. A lot of people probably want to listen to it. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to go check out Eric Shark's PR thing after us because I'm going because I want to like how do I present it? Hey, we did an interview with this guy. People might be interested. Can you put this on your news page? To the Wrestling Observer, PW Torch, list hundreds of wrestling sites out there that we can put that on. And every time you get your name on one of those articles, it's going to come up a lot easier than that Google search. You don't have to do all this like SEO background crap. And learn how to manipulate the Google search. Just get your name out there.
Yeah,
it's another link.
Like last year, if you Google Wrestling Mayhem show, 1,000 other things would come up. If you do it now, it's like every link on the first page is a link to us. Mm-hmm. Through some way, through a site that's hosting our podcast, or a site that's talking about our podcast.
Find all those podcast workers. Of course, iTunes is a big one. Get connected with them. That is the biggest. Like I say, about 95% of our fans listen to iTunes. Not go down to like get top shoot but then again, it's more links, and then some of those are web crawlers, and they'll find it. If you're on a bunch of other things. I'll plug that in, and I'll find sites that I never signed up to that have us linked. So, another thing with YouTube, we put videos up, and we'd like, we get 50, 100 hits on them every so often. We did this last round of, I wouldn't show you that with the computer doesn't know.
We were on the show, but
we did Apple Switch parodies. The PC versus Mac guys. Yeah. He was TNA wrestling, and the other guy was WWE and wore a suit jacket.
Yeah.
And
we just kind of argued and bickered back and forth, basically like the Apple commercials.
Yeah. And we plugged those in there, and we mentioned a couple wrestlers, so I plugged their names in the tags and everything. And the couple of them, oddly, the blooper reel is the biggest hit right now, and I don't know why. It's a phenomenon, really. But so those are getting like someone will get 400 hits. And that's more people saying, and I put at the end, like, join the Mayhem, WrestleManiaShow.com, and we put those commercials up, stuff like that. It's linked in the description and everything. So maybe, and then you go to that and they say related content, and you see a list of the same videos. So we did like 12 of those videos. So 12 of the TNA versus WWE. We did 4 commercials and a blooper reel. And we just threw it up there and said, maybe people will find us. But on top of that, we did this last year. And we did it again this year. We just took a camera while we're watching WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. If you're a wrestling fan, it is the Super Bowl. Regardless of if you're into WWE, it's the Super Bowl. And we just had a camera. We commented some of the matches before and after. And it's really just us hanging out being idiots. And just because it has WrestleMania in the title, 1,500 hits, almost 2,000 hits maybe now. Somewhere up there. And I'm just like, this is the crappiest thing I have. And everybody's watching it. That's that viral social marketing. It's just, and the people looking for that niche stuff. They have to have a reason to find it, And we just put, me talking about wrestling, it's not going to get out there. You really have to figure out what people are searching for and help that out. And I don't know if you're into example, like, you want to do crocheting podcasts. I'm sure there's crocheting sites out there, I mean, like, that's a niche thing, So I don't care about crocheting, But you may have a smaller group, but that will be a focus group that's into it, and, you don't have people that are half into it. Biggest podcast that I'm aware of today is, of course, This Week in Wrestling. You've probably all heard about Leo Laporte, and Alex Lindsay with his Pixel Core stuff with Mac Break. It's still a niche. There's millions of them. That's because they're all computer geeks, and that's where this is coming from. Yeah. That's why they've been so lucky, and plus their notoriety from being on Tech TV and everything certainly doesn't hurt them. But it's a focused niche, and companies pay attention to that. We're looking into for us, we're focused few hundred. We're looking to find sponsorship with, like, maybe highspots.com. I know WWE, TNA, and Prime will be locking on our door any day soon, but all those kind of side businesses that come off of that make, because their websites out there trying to sell the DVDs, trying to sell rings, apparel, equipment for wrestling.
We're looking into getting Rockstar Energy Drink to sponsor us. And also Zions, because
that's your Chris Brogan.
Chris Brogan's not sponsored by Zions, and we talk about professional wrestling, a little bit about mixed martial arts. So, and that's what Zion sponsors. Zion sponsors UFC and everything. So, another thing I want to say is the fans. You can't give enough credit to the fans, because if you're good to them, they'll be good to you. Because, like he said, our one correspondent, Chad, does Fan of the Week every week. And basically it's a challenge to all our fans to put up media, put up videos, put up something that's entertaining to us, or entertaining the people. And what was the best thing? Kids Fan of the Week that week. They don't actually get anything for it. But
notoriety.
They get the notoriety.
They have their name mentioned on a podcast. They get a bunch of people heard.
Yeah, they get their name mentioned. When anybody ever sends us emails or messages through MySpace, they know we'll read it on the air. We'll give them that attention.
No matter how stupid it is.
So, we've even held contests before. So if you're good to the fans, they'll be good to you.
Yeah, I like comments.
This is probably more of an issue for you guys in the Shopcast days, but as you're becoming more popular, are you having any trouble with overages on your usage of your hosting accounts or anything? How do you deal with
Talk shit doesn't have an overage issue unless it shuts down the server. I don't think we're anywhere near that.
I would love to have an overage issue.
I love that.
That would be fantastic.
That's a happy problem to have.
Yeah.
Much like when Leah Laporte put the first net at night or whatever on there, it shut down. The server, like the chat had like a couple hundred people. It was never built out. I don't know if we can handle it. They're good now. I don't think they crash every time they log in, but the people they bring in is ridiculous. So,
what time are we supposed to run this one? I have no idea.
technically, I think about a quarter to 2, but we could start a little bit later. I think 10.
Tell me a little more about the sponsorship, how that, what you actually do for the sponsorship, what type of money.
Well, we're still trying to figure that out, actually. But this is where we're focusing, and we know there's a possibility there.
All of our the sponsorship we have now is just purely through Talk Shit.
GoDaddy now.
And GoDaddy.
Through Talk Shit.
Yeah. But you have to think about your demographic, who your listeners are, or who your viewers are, who might be coming to your site, and then think about what they like, and then find the company. Like I said, Zion already sponsors a lot of mixed martial arts. And I know a lot of our fans like mixed martial arts, so we go to them, and we're even looking at smaller companies, smaller energy drink companies, or apparel companies, or
Not
wrestling gear
Steven
companies.
Seagal's energy.
Well, we had a bad experience with Steven Seagal's energy.
Yeah, because we drank it.
Yeah. We drank it and called and complained, and their number was disconnected. So
Yeah.
That
was last week too, wasn't it?
awful. It tasted like cherries and ass.
So,
yeah, and good.
So, with your sponsorships, obviously, well, I would think that you can't mention your sponsors or talk about your sponsors or promote your sponsors on your talk show podcast.
Well, actually, I think we talked to the guys we talked to before, and they said if you line up your own sponsor, you can either work with them or do it independently. They're okay with either way.
Oh, okay.
To my knowledge, that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But so we do get a sponsor. We'll make sure we contact them and say, make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
Now,
Make sure Talk Shoe.
I can't speak for them. I know Switchbot was trying to do the same thing TalkShoe is now with inserting ads eventually.
Right.
But I don't, it depends on your host, really. And if they're doing the ad thing for you, you gotta make sure it doesn't butt heads with that.
Right.
So.
That's one of the beautiful things I found about Talk Shoe is that it's not huge, so we can still have that kind of working back and forth relationship with the people on Talk Shoe. We can talk to the sponsors.
Before it was 6 or 8 guys in an office up in Westford.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is okay. I hope they grow like that. As much stuff as they have going on now. Speaking of which, I heard there's a open house Monday for any Talk Shoe.
Talk Shoe open. Yeah.
I was talking to Tommy earlier. But
Yeah.
And then the other thing you do is banner ads on your website. And that would be the extent of the relationship with
I really haven't paid much for advertising. I paid 1 month on VegaLovers.net, which is another ICP fan news site. And I don't know if it really does this. I know I put an ad for my CD on there for 2 months, and I sold like 2 copies. So I mean,
everything.
2 copies, the old CD we were on, and a DVD, which covered the cost.
I have a question. I'm on Talk Shoe as well. We've got a couple of other podcasts on there, and they've started to do badges. Have you guys use them? And
Yeah,
helping to get
Stuff
things.
went on my page. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't think people are going to use it a lot, but it's nice that you can go to the MySpace page and think, oh, what's this about? So it's just a podcast, something like that, too. And then, of course, we got off then, but someone put it on the MySpace page. But it's nice because they find us on MySpace. And, what are these guys about? I'm like, listen to us here. There you are.
This is new to me. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it helped to, because it's on your website or MySpace or whatever, if it's helping to draw people in.
Right now I have it, because I used to have it on the, if I can show you, I had on the right side, Google Ads and,
Google Ads.
We'll get to that in a second. I had Google Ads, some other stuff I advertise, like groups I'm in, work with, other websites I do. And then at the top it says, listen to us, 8 p.m. Tuesdays, talkshoe.com, and then it has a list of feed connections for iTunes, Google, bookmark or whatever. So that was a perfect place to stick it. So it's right there.
Yeah, like that badge. Even I could go so far and say it's even MySpace and the Wikipedia page and all the stuff that we have. That's all free advertising.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. And I guess the best thing about it is that some of the stuff we didn't even do. It was our fans that enjoyed it enough to advertise for us. So I mean, like he said, he has bought 1 ad space during this entire time, and
$20.
Yeah, he spent $20 on advertising.
I don't know if it did.
And I mean, everything else has just been free advertising. We're still putting up these kind of numbers. So
You Google AdWords, though, you're going to talk about that.
Google Ads.
Google Ads.
Google Ads. I've used it on WSPA Juggalos for a couple of years now. I gotta say, it gives you a little bit of money. Nothing to really write home about. They can about $100 to send you a check. I get that probably every 3 to 6 months, depending on. Well, there was one time where one of my sites got mentioned in a newspaper article when
tell them how you've been mentioned.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, he's in Letter Magazine. City paper. Actually, my picture was in the city. I was in the headline of the city paper. But that's a kind of a whole other thing. But nothing. Actually, that's not a good point. Nothing. There is no bad publicity.
Yeah.
I learned that because whatisajuggaler.com and just this thing I kind of threw together in the night, 2 years ago, and everybody finds it whenever something bad happens that's related to an ICP thing. There were some kids in a park up in Washington State. They were going around assaulting people, robbing them, yelling, "Woot, woot, I'm a juggalo," or something like that.
Yeah.
So of course, everybody's like, "Oh, juggalos are evil," and they put my website in there.
Yeah.
I opened up my Google Ads, and I made $80 in 2 days.
Oh, that's good.
And this is 2 days before their big gathering over in Ohio, their big event, 3-day festival they do.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And when somebody's like, oh, did you know you were in a newspaper article? I'm like, no. And so, I got hate mail. The greatest hate mail ever. I had somebody in Georgetown University or something email me telling me how much of an idiot I am. Hilarious.
That's
You should put that up on the website.
I did.
Funny. Oh, good. Yeah.
I did. I was like, hey guys, check this out.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you have to worry about dealing with fans, because fans are great, like I said. If you're good to them, they'll be good to you. But sometimes not so much.
We're really open on the show.
Yeah, we're very.
Sometimes we say things we shouldn't.
Yeah, sometimes we'll get offended.
And I'm not a fan of editing shows.
Yeah.
Just because I don't waste my time on it, and I want to be true to, if it comes out, you just put it out there for everybody to listen to.
Yeah.
We say stupid stuff.
So yeah,
Okay.
sometimes I'm very sleepy on the show. But we have offended people before, and we will offer, if we've genuinely offended someone for a good reason, we will apologize. We'll go the next week, and we'll genuinely apologize to people. If we offend someone for a stupid reason, then, and we get hate mail for it, if this happens to you, read the hate mail. Understand their point of view. If it's stupid, disregard. Don't let it bother you. Or if they make a good point, then use it.
The best thing is respond to them. They won't expect that.
Yeah, they don't expect it.
Oh crap, there's somebody on the other end. They've been talking about I know Divorce, but talked about this on Twitter and a couple other things. And they're like, yeah, if they think they're sending an email and honest to somebody, and it's like, no, I have your email address back. This is what I think they do. You know, or I'll respond to the email I got. Like, I had people telling me that I was going to hell and all this stuff because I'm into this stuff. I'm like, well, you know, one I remember I was personally proud. I was like, well, you know, my God teaches me to forgive other people. So have a good day. Yeah. She was just like, oh, yeah, this is a Christian thing. But we're not getting a religion here. Another session for another day.
For another podcast. Or another conference.
Are you using Google Analytics or SiteMeter or anything to track where your traffic is coming in from?
I've dabbled with that a little bit. Last time you went to check something like that, you weren't big enough to be picked up on that, or like a Lexus or anything like that. Now I haven't checked that in a few months. So, and the website actually, we were just using the MySpace and promoting off of my current website at the time. And eventually I got the .com. Late last year. Yeah. So that's a new time for people to find it. So I'm trying to make it so that's the hub that people go to and find, you know, our show, our videos. We post stuff all the time on there. We have a list of all of our interviews and where you can find it, which podcasts. Because we don't have interviews every week.
Yeah.
You know, there's on schedules.
Yeah, I mean, like all the media we do, because we do just the audio podcast. We also do video stuff, and we do, like you said, we do the wrestling. It's all on the site, so it's
all our matches are up there.
Yeah. So something else is fantastic: merchandising. If you we go through Zazzle.com, very good site, and it's inexpensive as well. So.
And Justine will be among the panel discussing that next in this room.
Exactly.
Building your brand.
Yeah. So merchandising.
Is that like Spreadshirt or Cafe Press or something like that?
It's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll do all kinds of different apparel. They can do mugs. They can do.
I've actually done Cafe Press
and whatnot.
on my websites for some time.
Yeah. I have to. I'm actually graduating from here in about 2 months. And I have to, do the whole portfolio presentation, give takeaways. So I'm kind of relying on Zazzle to do prints for me. They're relatively inexpensive.
So is either or any of those done by them?
Yeah, these are Zazzle. That one's Zazzle. This was, I don't know, I just bought this somewhere.
So the printer stuff is pretty good quality.
Yeah,
it's
way better quality than a lot of this stuff is. But unfortunately, our design's a little too crazy for that. Because we were actually talking with them at Bootcamp, and they're like, I don't know if we can do this, but we can clean it up a little bit and do it.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of like the inflation clothing line is so popular right now. But the only problem is that it's so hard or expensive to get someone to print like that, because they'll print like over the shoulder or around the side, and a lot of places just don't support that. So,
Any other questions?
Yeah, if there's nothing else, the secret to our networking success, when we approach someone and we talk about the show, we do it with confidence. And because it started out, we had this little joke between us that we're international radio superstars.
From LA to Cairo.
Exactly.
Was the same.
And then we found out that was true.
Yeah.
So if you think it and you really, really believe it, then it'll be true.
And that's life.
That's life.
Inspirational thinking from the rest of Mayhem.
So yeah, thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate it.
If you have any questions, we'll be around. Feel free to ask. If you want to discuss anything, we'll be around all day.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Yes,
Yeah.